Hello again and welcome to another Google Quick Win brought to you by myself, Michael Goldie, based from the EdTech Consortium of ourselves, Ribblesdale and Highfurlong. And today I'm going to show you how using analytics and Google Forms really helps to monitor engagement in your Google Classroom, especially when we're looking at it from the parental perspective. So today, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to go back and we're now going to look at an actual few forms that I've created previously. And I'm going to show you how those forms have really been able to help us monitor engagement, especially when it came to our remote learning offer that we've provided. So first thing I'm going to do is I am just going to share my screen with you again. And I'm going to show you some of the things that we've done for our parents so we can see how we're doing as an academy. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you is a feedback form that we created in Google Forms right back in June. And we wanted to monitor and we wanted to measure how we were doing as an academy to see if we'd been offering an effective remote learning offer. So we sent out this Google form, quite easy to do here. We put a bit of a blurb on what we were expecting of what we expect the parents to complete. And then down here, it was simple. They entered the child's name, the relation to the child, how they were finding getting on with distance learning, sort of a Likert scale there, a bit more information if we needed it, and just some basics really. And then a really important question right down the bottom here. And this one was, is the work engaging and interesting that we were providing for your child? So we collated all this information, and then once the parents then complete this Google form, as you can see there at the side, these responses are then collected. Now, as you can see, if I go down here, these are all the children's names, but if I come down here, you can see that all of those answers are then collected and it gives us all of that information, and we can find out as an academy how we're doing, not just quantitatively, but qualitatively as well. So as you can see here, we find out who's actually filling in the form, and then we get some more information. How are you finding distance learning so far? So this is based on 153 parents, and obviously some of them have siblings as well. So we did get a good uptake on returning this to us. Now, as you see here, we get all this information. Now it tells us here that how are we finding this, the distance learning. This was back in June. It was okay. 4 of them, you know, it was good. We were all right with that. And then we have all this information here, which gave us further details in what some children were struggling with. And then we got some information about how the child was finding the social remote learning, and then a bit more information if we needed it. And then overall, we found out, how do you feel we've provided, or do you feel we've provided adequate daily resources for your child, in which we got 97.4% positivity for that. And if the work was engaging, 94.8%. And as you can see, then we had further information back from them. Now, what's good about that is that it enabled us as a school, as an academy, to be able to look at that and think, right, how can we improve on that? How can we make it better? And there were certain areas which really triggered out to us. And we found out that sometimes we'd set too much work. You know, there was too much to complete. So we made it clear that, you know, during lockdown, it wasn't mandatory to complete all the work. You know, that's not the point of it. Our point was to provide a remote learning offer, which we did. And we made sure we made that clear to the parents as well. And that really enabled us to reflect on that and then improve what we were to offer coming into September. Now, in September, we knew that we needed to provide this hybrid approach to learning. We knew that we needed Google Classroom embedded, with new children coming in as well. But we also knew we needed to go to that traditional teaching approach. So what did we do there? We decided to start using homework for Google Classroom. We've been doing that since September, and we weren't sure if it's going well or not. So once again, we've used Google Forms to be able to provide that feedback for us. So what we've done here is, if you look, you can see that we have then completed, bear with me, another form. We created another form. Now this form, bear with me, let me just share my screen with you again. Apologies. Now, this form here is all about our current remote learning offer through the homework and similar responses. And what we found out when we analysed all the data that came back to us was that a lot of them were a lot more happy, it seemed. There was a lot more happiness here. We've changed the scale around here with one being very happy. There were obviously a few who weren't happy, of course, there always is. But we managed to look at what was the concern and the issue with that. And one of the concerns was parents didn't know how to complete some of the arithmetic questions, or parents didn't know how to log on to Google Classroom. So we've created small snippets, small recordings for parents that we put on our website that they can access. And it's some parental CPD. You know, we feel responsible as a school, not just to support the children, but we need to support the parents in these times as well. So we've put all this together, and we still, you know, as you see, we had 10% who struggled to return it successfully. So we've done those sessions for them. We've shown parents how to return the work and access all those sorts of things. And we're now finding that it's, you know, it's working out a lot better for us, and parents are becoming more happy in how to return work. So that, in a nutshell, is how we use Google Forms to engage and monitor sort of that parent feedback. Now, just coming off the screen here, that looks at how you use Google Forms to monitor parental feedback, but also there's Google Analytics. You can go within the Google admin function, and within there, you can see which children are engaging and who aren't. And you can see how many children you have returning work over the whole of your academy. And I'm going to quickly show you this, a bit of a snapshot on how you can actually do this. So once again, I'm just going to share my screen with you. And I'm just going to show you quickly Google Classroom, the admin area. So as you can see the Google home page here. And if I go down, you have a tab called Google Admin. Now, when you go into Google Admin, you have all these different features. You need to make sure that some of these features you may not have because you need to either be an admin user or a super admin user. Now, if I click on reports here, I can find out who is accessing what. Now, if I go down here and I click on Classroom, I can find out here how many active classes there are, who's creating posts, which are by teachers and by students, and how many classes are created. And this gives me a great breakdown to find out within my school who is, for example, if you're in a more senior leadership role, you want to see, or you want to make sure how many classes are actually allocating work out, and if it's been done effectively, or if it's been returned. And what this also enables you to do is you can see how many children are actually accessing Google Classroom on a daily basis. So this gives you another snapshot about how you are offering, or who's actually accessing your Google or Classroom or your remote learning offer. So that's that in a snapshot. Okay, so just going back to the original slide now. I'm just going to give you a quick overview if you do wish for any support. Obviously, we are part of the EdTech Demonstrator project. My name is Michael Goldie again. I'm a teacher at Hambleton. If you wish to contact me, you can email me directly at m.goldie@hambleton.fcat.org.uk, or you can contact me through my Twitter handle at @GoldieTeach. Thank you once again.